today we are gonna be playing. Is this working? Yes. It should be working. We're gonna be jamming some modern Eldrazi taxes. Return to our kind of roots on the channel, I guess. Was mostly playing this deck, and it's not like I'll ever put it down. Deck's still sweet. Just kind of want to mix it up between this and Legacy and modern mono white taxes and whatever else is on this channel. Don't want to make things too dull. We also, I mentioned yesterday that I kind of wanted to try out Shalai in the black-white shell as opposed to just the mono-white shell. So we've made some edits from like the last list I was kind of going off of. I put in the 23rd land because I think at 6 4-drops, even though I thought no, it's like a 4-drop with Eldrazi temples and stuff. I think that you definitely want more lands to cast your spells reliably. So I cut, I think I had a Bob and 2 Blade Splicers, and now I just have 2 Shalais and a 23rd land, which is a 3rd Shambling Vent. I also made some updates to the sideboard, because I don't think Worship's very good. I was trying it out before, but I just put in a Settle the Wreckage instead. I think that was actually the only change. Might be able to cut this Leonin Relic Order for something else. Since now we have more like Ensnaring Bridge hate, or I guess not Ensnaring Bridge, but Lantern hate with Shalai and stuff, but still good against Affinity, still good against Blood Moons and stuff, so I think we are going to try out this list. Why isn't this updated? It says I'm no longer hosting. There we go. There I am. So anyway, we're gonna give this a whirl before it gets too late. This deck tends to sometimes kind of take its time. Not the fastest deck in the world. So let's get going. Hit play league match? Did I just join the league and then not queue in? Anyhow. Jeez, it's amazing. When did this league started? Almost a month ago today. So that means the Sneaky Pete's gotten a trophy every other day. I guess with like Ad Nauseam, it's probably pretty easy to grind leagues. Versus all these dumb, really slow, grindy decks. We have turn 2 Strangler, but nothing to strangle from the opponent. If they're on like burn, if I could knew they were on burn, I'd keep this hand because like you eat Rift Bolt, kill a Goblin Guide or whatever. It's gas, and we have Shalai. Sounds like an auto win versus burn, but probably an auto lose versus basically everything else. If I get Thoughtseize once I lose, I just can't make like a reasonable play. So we're gonna ship it. I'm on the draw, so I think I keep this hand. And then immediately get super punished. We have 2 more. Oh, against humans. Alright, well, my other hand was never going to beat humans, so I think this hand is a little bit more promising. If we can hit a second land drop. We do have 2, like, horrible cards in the humans matchup, though, between Thalia and Leonin Arbiter. We need to hit a land drop just to be able to survive. Alright, cool, we are dead. Might concede to make them think we're not on Eldrazi taxes. This could be like junk. One doesn't have a play. I'm gonna pat this. We could be on like Abzan, whatever. How's it going, Cutie Mark Mason? Meddling Mage? Let's see what they think I'm on. I'm a little curious. Opponent probably doesn't even know what to name. You could just name like more Path to Exiles. Fatal Push. Okay, that's a reasonable name. We have 7 cards in hand. We are supremely dead. Just never hitting a land drop. I don't think playing out any more of this game is going to give me any information. Humans lists are generally pretty stock. Mantis Rider. Alright. I will pack it in there. Good start to the day. Alright, Fatal Pushes are good. Settle is great. Mirror Crusaders are decent. Pontiff can be good, especially in combination with like Eldrazi Displacer or Flicker Wisp. And I think that's it. We cut like 3 Thalia, 3 Leonin Arbiter. I hate going down like that many 2-drops, but all my 2-drops like are just horrible in this matchup. Could Seaboarding and Gonti as well. Just it trades with anything that has Death Touch, and it also takes something off the top of their deck. Cut this last Thalia. Don't think any of these cards are worth it. Let's try that. Would like to play first. I guess I'll keep this hand. I'll lead with Eldrazi Temple in case we top deck second Eldrazi Temple and get super lucky. But I'm not holding my breath. But we have, like, turn 3 Thought Knot into Strangler. So I'm not passing this hand up. Let's get lucky. If we don't get lucky, we just play Godless Shrine. Aether Vial. Dang. It's another land, which is not good. We do just get to Thought Knot them next turn, though. Unless they might... I wouldn't be surprised if they, like, Soul Red a Meddling Mage on Thought Knot here. Oh, they just have second Vial? Alright, this is very good for me. Opponent has a lot of, like, just a lot of air in their hand, which means this Thought Knot's going to be really strong. Going to Dismember in response. That's fine, we get the Exile to feed the Strangler here. A Direfleet Daredevil. Alright, well, most of these cards are easy to play around now that I know that they're in my opponent's hand. Interestingly enough. So do I take Mantis Rider or Reflector Mage, I think? I don't think I care enough about Reflector Mage. I have time if they bounce on my creatures to just deploy them again. So I think I just take Mantis Rider. I can eat a Lieutenant. They can't gut shot any of my stuff. I can play around Daredevil now that I know it's there. I'll take the Mantis Rider to save myself some health. Then next turn I either Gonti or Mirror Crusader. Probably Gonti. Do they drew another Vial? Alright, this is great for me. Ooh, or we just play another Thought Knot. I'm okay with that. Now I think we take Reflector Mage. I just don't want them to, next turn, take a Vow up to 3, Reflector Mage the Thought Knot, and like get the extra card and try to unload their hand before the Thought Knot's relevant. Let's take the Mage. Now next turn we get like Mirror Crusader plus Strangler. They didn't even put in the Lieutenant. I don't think it's worth holding on to it as an Anthem when you're like this far down on creatures. Freebooter me? That's fine. I have nothing, opponent. And then we immediately draw the Fatal Push. Do I even want to eat this? I don't think I do. I do have notably, I want to play around this Direfleet Daredevil with this Fatal Push, so I don't want to cast it yet. If I eat this, I guess I could just eat it now. There's something scarier, and it lets me curve out better than just like playing Gonti. If I could play Gonti, leave up Fatal Push, I'd feel okay, but I don't think I'm leaving up Fatal Push until I have an answer for this Daredevil. Although I guess they can't really revolt it, but I mean, I could revolt it this turn, like if I Strangler one of their guys. I think I'm down for Strangler plus Crusader this turn, though. Can I attack? 3, 2, 1. So they could Vial in Direfleet, double block, and gut shot, and then we have Fatal Push, so yeah, we can attack. Getcha. I guess I could also do it with Thalia's Lieutenant, because that also trades, but either one of those plays are really poor for the opponent. I think I just can go ahead and eat the flyer. Now that I put in the Lieutenant? Yeah. I think they should have done that last turn. I think it was kind of greedy to hold on to it, expecting to actually pump things, when I had just, like, thought knotted them twice, and they were running low on cards in hand. I think they just wanted a 2-drop Champion of the Parish. Alright, yeah, they're just dead. Cool. Still had all these. Now we just need to win game 3. It was very helpful. My opponent drew 3 Vials, though, which is, like, pretty bad for them. I do hate, like, we just have no 2s anymore, so we're very reliant in the early game on drawing paths, pushes, or, like, temples, plus, cheaper Eldrazi. I don't think I can sideboard very much differently. I wouldn't be opposed to Relic Warder to exile Vials, but it's, like, solidly not great. I don't think there's a worse card in my deck. I guess maybe a Shalai, since the only thing they have that's targets is Reflector Mage, and they just Reflector Mage the Shalai anyway. It's just solidly not great. Probably. It's like a, like a solid B-, C+. It's like, it's very, like, ingrained in its category. Quite the expression, indeed. We have Vial into Displacer. If we don't draw another land besides this Shambling Vent, though, we can't actually turn 3 Thought Knot, so I might Vial into Shambling Vent into Thought Knot, but I think this hand is a keep. Let's just draw a second Eldrazi Temple and live the dream. Champion of the Parish. Nope. Noble Hierarch. They gonna, like, turn 2 Mantis Rider me? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's less fine. That's quite scary. Attack me for 4 on turn 2? Oh no, they can't attack. Right. Jeez. So if I play Displacer, does it even do anything on this board? I don't think so. It doesn't block this champion. It prevents, like, maybe a Lieutenant attack. But I think I do want to set up for Thought Knots before they actually just run enough cards in their hand, which I might be a little late to the party for that as well. But I think I just need to guarantee turn 3 Thought Knot. If they... Oh, geez. This is not great. we're getting humans here. I guess we could draw land and settle the wreckage and maybe be okay. This is already a 5/5. Take 8 here. Good. We could draw a 2 would be nice, but we have like 5 of those left in the deck, yeah. Not good tapping on the opponent's part. I think they would really like to dismember this Thought-Knot Seer. They can't Restoration Angel yet. It's gonna be really bad when they can. Although they actually would have to flicker this one, so maybe not horrible. I think I just have to take this Dismember, though. Hopefully they miss the land drop, and I can Thought-Knot the Restoration Angel next. Oh, they draw another Phantasmal Image, because that's just a disaster. I think we might just be dead. Does this Thought-Knot have to chump block? Yeah, this is exactly lethal. Alright, if we draw another Eldrazi Temple, we might be alive. No, they could still just attack with everything and kill me. Because I could use the Displacer to ping off these 2 lieutenants, but yeah. Well, we got thoroughly humansed. That's definitely how you win that matchup. As humans is just... I'll just scroll back up. It's just like you get the super aggressive starts. The grindy starts are you're never going to win against Death and Taxes. If the board gets clogged up, you're just dead. But the starts where you go champion, Thalia's Lieutenant, Thalia's Lieutenant, Thalia's Lieutenant, those are the really good ones. Against a deck like Death and Taxes, which is just not going to have a lot of removal. The game might have been a little different if I had just... There's definitely a chance that I'm supposed to just play the Eldrazi Displacer on turn 2, thinking, like, if I don't hit the land drop, I'm just gonna lose anyway, right? Molybok. Where do I know this name from? I don't think I've played against them, but the name seems familiar. We'll keep this. It's kind of mediocre, and we're on the draw, so Leonin Arbors are worse. But, like, it's hard to pass up a hand of a good mix of lands and spells, especially with the rate that this deck mulligans. Storm or Blue-White X? Because it's also going to be like Blue Moon or whatever, but that doesn't tell me either. But a lot of the Stormlords have been moving to the fetch list since everyone follows Caleb Schur, the Storm God. So I'm more inclined to think that there's some sort of Blue X control deck. Blue-White, Blue-Red, Blue-White-Red, whatever have you. Let's draw Aether Vial, or like, oh wow. Is this the Blue-Red Prison? Alright, this is one of those times that, like, the gamble on drawing one of the other 3 Eldrazi Temples is not worth it, because we do have this tap land. So I would much rather get this out, and then feel really awkward when we do draw the temple, but... Is this Blue-Red Prison? I'm not... No, it's not. Oh god, what is my opponent... Oh, my opponent's just playing some sort of... this deck, I guess. Really want to Thought-Knot them. I mean, I can't, obviously. I think I'm just gonna play Leonin Arbiter. And hope they don't just play Thopter Foundry and body me. Because I have no answers to that in the main deck. I shouldn't have played that temple, in case they're on, like, Spreading Seas, or, Field of Ruins or something. Because I definitely need this Eldrazi Temple for next turn. This is not a deck that... No, go away. Remind me later. I don't care about these important updates. Yeah, I can play Aether Vial now. So, like, this is not a deck that exists, right? My opponent's just playing some nonsense. I'm wondering why they've just never cracked this Mishra's Bauble. It seems kind of odd. Guess we're going to Thought Knot the opponent. See what they've got going on. Oh, I'll take that War of Invention. That looks really scary. I guess that explains why they didn't crack the Bauble. They were looking for, like, triple blue, and they wanted to War for the Thopter Foundry. Targeting me? Sure. Can't attack because they have a Spellskite. Man, they could, like, suit up Spellskite with this Sword of the Meek, and I can never attack through it. They need, like, 1,000,000 mana to sack this? 4. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wow, that was... Alright, that was a lot faster than I thought it would be. They can now go get Thopter Foundry, which is horrifying. Okay, I guess not. That's good. Strangler is not useful. I guess I could actually attack. And if they block with the Spellskite, then I can strangle the Spellskite. So it's not horrible here. Alternative, I could play Shalai. I could play Wasteland Strangler plus Leonin Arbiter. Let's attack and see what happens. I don't think Shalai is doing a whole lot for me here. Doesn't seem like giving myself and my creature's hexproof is super relevant. Getcha. Guess I don't know any of the cards in their hand anymore. We really want to find Eldrazi Displacer. That would be really good. Eldrazi Displacer plus Thought Knot makes it so that they're likely not going to get a Sword of the Meek, or not Sword of the Meek, a Thopter Foundry. They're just going to take it. Okay, I guess I'll just play Shalai then. Wasteland Strangler is not going to do anything. So... Shalai protects my creatures from whatever my opponent has, I guess. It also protects me from something. I don't know. Opponent could have anything in their deck, so... I guess Leonin Arbiter also interacts favorably with Inventor's Sphere here, for me at least. I didn't think about that last turn, that's why they cracked the clue, because they couldn't actually crack this Inventor's Sphere. Makes this second Leonin Arbiter even better off of this Vial, if they actually get up to 6 mana. Guess we're just hoping they don't naturally draw it. That's the biggest concern. Relic, sure. Cantrip it. Oh, making a buffed Raven Inspector. I think being 3-4 flyer is the most relevant text on the card right now. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Just as they made this a 2-4, I was like, hey, it clocks them. Hey, this actually can't target me. That's fun. But I mean, the most important part is the cycle. So it's a 3-4 flyer, and that's what matters. Guess we just keep sitting on this Wasteland Strangler. I could animate Shambling Vent. That doesn't do anything besides gain me 1 life, because I'd have to use the caves to animate it. Hmm. Yeah. Punch him for 7, I guess. Get him. I wonder if I'm supposed to eat this fetch if they try to fetch. I think I am. Like, if they pay 2 mana to try and fetch this on instep, we're just gonna Violence Arbiter. Yeah, I'll eat it. They're just like, if I do this, they're just never gonna get to the mana to actually crack this Inventor's Fair. And now they have to start blocking this Thought-Knot Seer. Oh no, never mind, they gained a life. So they're effectively 5. I can attack for 6. Yeah, they cycle the Relic. My fear is still that they draw a Thopter Foundry. And we're kind of up shit creek. If they do. Yay, we did it! So what is the opponent's deck doing? Whatever they're doing, I think Stony Silence and Rest in Peace are good against it. Fire and Pen and Alpha. Yeah, it was probably something along those lines was the plan next turn. But they're just dead, so it didn't matter. What else is the opponent doing that I am concerned about? Oh, I guess Relic Order is also good. I didn't see a lot of their decks, so they just had, like, the Artifact Court of Calling, a bunch of dirtily artifacts, and the Thopter Sword combo. That's, I think, literally all we saw, and, like, a Serum Visions. I don't think Gonti's particularly good, because a lot of their cards seem like they're just bad by themselves. I guess Wasteland Strangler's probably pretty bad here, unless they have some, like, secret, really good creature that I'm not thinking about. Let me see what the text on Thopter Foundry is. Sack a non-token artifact. Put a 1/1 blue Thopter. With flying into play, you gain 1 life. I don't think Pontiff's worth it. Do I want to grind against this deck? I don't know. I think I just want to cut these Shalais. I don't think they do anything against my blue-white opponent. They might have, like, paths or something to remove my creatures, but we have Displacers and Flicker Wisps and whatever. I think it's just a 3/4 flyer here. And probably although, maybe it's actually just worse than these Path to Exiles. Or better than these Paths. Because the Path didn't seem like it was going to do a lot either. Maybe I want, like, a Strangler just in case. Cut all these paths. I don't know. We'll just play game 2 and figure out what we get bodied by if we lose. Well, we have a Stony, but we also don't have anything. Like, we can't cast it ever. So we're gonna mulligan. Alright, well, we have a Stony here, and it's a lot better. 3rd land, but it's a Caves of Koilos. We're already taking a bunch of damage. I think we can ship that. We can cast most of our hand already. They have black in their deck? What? I have no idea what's happening. I don't know what the opponent's deck is. Like, play a Thopter Foundry here? Sure. Now I have a lot of options for my turn 2 here. I think the best of which is, it might be just Slam Stony Silence. No one has any. Alright, at least I'm not the only one. I think it might be Tide Hollow Skull, though, to protect the Stony, if they have some sort of answer to it. I'm just not positive. Like, Tide Hollow might be decent. I could even, like, Relic Order it. But what could they have that removes this? Just, like, white, like, disenchants and whatever. I don't think Stoney's a slam dunk right now. It's not turning off my opponent's stuff. We're gonna play Tide Hollow Schooler. We're gonna get some information. What's the... I mean, it's just like an option. I don't think it's like super good, but it's one of my only openings to kill it before it can sack itself. Like I could take away the Thopter Foundry forever. Okay, so they do have Detention Sphere. They have Detention Sphere to answer this, but I just take the sword. They spend their turn Detention Sphering Tide Hollow. Then I could also like Relic Ward the D-Sphere, get Tide Hollow back, or I could just play the Stony then. I think we definitely just take the sword. What's up, Yazbirth Control? How's it going? Play Seachrome Coast into Detention Sphere. Yep. And now we can play the Stony. Man, we're regretting bottoming that land. So I know they have a Sword of the Meat. Alright, so I don't know about anything. I know they have an island left in their hand, and that's it. That's all that I know about. So Relic Warding the D-Sphere doesn't do a lot, because I don't get to like see anything relevant, and if they get rid of the Relic Warder, they could get the D-Sphere back and get rid of the Stony Silence. Relic Wardering the Thopter Foundry might actually be relevant here, in case they find an answer for Stony. But before then, I think I want to try to shut off, like, I can't shut off the Artifact Cord here. Could just play second Tide Hollow. Get bottomed with Visions. Just play another Tide Hollow. So the only time this thing's gonna be relevant is hitting this card that might be in their hand. Nope, it's just 2 lands. Cool. Ooh, that doesn't do anything, right? I mean, they could cycle it to find something. What do they want, though? Like an Ensnaring Bridge, maybe? But they didn't play their lands out. Playing Arbiter here to make them sack the Inventor's Fair, because I'm curious on what they're going to go get. Is there an artifact that kills a Stony Silence? It's not like an actual card, right? They're just going to grab Ensnaring Bridge or something? Yeah. Figured. We have Flicker Wisps and Eldrazi Displacer to beat Ensnaring Bridge if we ever hit a 3rd land drop. Play Island. Play Bridge. Hey. Also, we can just Relic Order the bridge. I didn't think about that. Just keep adding to the board. Plays the Flooded Strand. We don't know anything in their hand anymore. What is the Water Grave for in their deck? Is it like a 1-of to fetch 4 to cast like something out of the sideboard? I got nothing. Opponent's deck is very confusing. I don't know what I'm going to put it down as. I guess like Esper Thopter Foundry is the best descriptor. But I feel pretty good about our position here. We attack for 6, play Relic Order, Exile Bridge, or opposite order, but attack for 6, put them to 8, and then we have lethal next turn, unless they can find something. If they answer this Stony, we are just dead, but not much we can do about that. We could play it safe and Relic Order one of the Thopter Sword pieces, then next turn Flicker Wisp, then Ensnaring Bridge, then the turn after that Flicker Wisp. Oh, what is happening? Second Ensnaring Bridge? That's what it looks like. I don't know what other 3-drop... I guess they're looking through their own deck to figure out if they can find something relevant that isn't just another bridge. But my hand is pretty good against bridges. We just have a bunch of answers to it. Wait. What happened? Am I missing something? Did they just... They ignored Leonardo's effect. Cast it for X equals 3, and then... There's nothing... Oh no, the spell's guys applied. I am blind, I am missing something. It's just an 0-4? Oh, I can't actually, Relic Order the bridge. That's funny. Wait, no, yeah, it can. This thing can't activate its abilities. It just negates 2 damage every turn. I am an idiot. I guess we just play Flicker Wisp here then, since we no longer have lethal set up. Yeah, Flicker Wisp seems fine. I can't Ghost Quarter any of my opponent's stuff relevantly. And I'd rather, if we hit a 5th land, I could Relic Order plus Flicker Wisp or Relic Order plus Displacer. So for mana efficiency's sake, we're going to... Get out of here. Get ya. They're at 10. We now attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we still don't have lethal. So if I Flicker Wisp it again, attack, next turn I can just Relic Order it permanently. I guess that's the reason to leave in Stranglers over Paths, even in a matchup like this, because of the Flicker Wisp Strangler combination. To relevantly eat things. Alright, now they're at 3. We should be fine, unless they draw Detention Sphere. Yeah, they have nothing. Cool. And we just drew more Flicker Wisps. Alright, let's play the Relic Order, though. We did it. That was an odd game. Esper Thopter Sword? Sure. 2-0'd. That felt like it was a really good matchup for Death and Taxes variants in general, kind of. Both Thalia and Leonardo are really good there. Flicker Wisp is good at beating bridges. Stony Silence and Rest in Peace are relevant against what the opponent's doing. We have a follow from Exifa 2000. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate the support. So we're 1-1 in this league after dying horribly to humans and thoroughly beating up on whatever the opponent was just playing. Esper Thopter Sword stuff. So let's keep it going. Shillai also has not been relevant at all so far. It was a 3/4 flyer in game 1 against Esper Thopter Sword. And I think I died with it in my hand against humans. But I would have died with a lot of things in my hand in that matchup. When they go Noble Hierarch into Champ Thalia's Lieutenant, into Thalia's Lieutenant, into Thalia's Lieutenant. Not gonna beat those hands a lot at the time. Right. Sunshine 420. Hey, we get to be on the play. We have Ghost Quarter, Path, and Arbiter. We have a lot of good combos. Only one creature is a little awkward. Also, I'm not 1-0 MTG bot. I never know how to fix that. MTG bot just like misses entire matches that I play sometimes. What is the opponent doing? Basic island stuff. Playing in a bunch of basic island Serum Visions decks. Well, this path's probably not going to be very good. I might... No, I don't think I can afford to just... Top-topped. I don't think I can afford to just lean on this Arbiter. Like, not cast it until I have Ghost Quarter up. I think I just slam it here. In case the opponent has fetch lands or whatever. If they don't remove it immediately, then we get to untap and play Ghost Quarter. The dream is just they play fetch land and pass, then we Ghost Quarter this island. But probably wishful thinking. Paying costs. Casting another Serum Visions, maybe? Yep. Top. Oh man, I love Leon and Arbiter sometimes. Oh geez, we could Thought Knot them. I'm gonna Ghost Quarter them first though. Nice deck, opponent. Got him. All planned. Oh man, now we just get to Thought Knot sear them. Jesus. Oh man, that is sometimes Leon and Arbiter really gives it to him. So opponents on either blue-white or blue-white-red. We saw Flooded Rain, Serum Visions, Celestial Colonnade, Basic Island, so we don't have a lot to board in the blue-white X matchup. If they're blue-white-red, I want Forge Tenders, but it's not worth taking the risk, because if they're just on blue-white, these cards are the worst. Could just bring in Mirran Crusaders for extra beaters, because they might be better than Paths. How does this look? Path is decent at pushing through random like colonnades and stuff sometimes, but usually it's very bad. Unless the opponent's on like Jeskai tempo with spell quellers and stuff, but I guess Fatal Push is probably always better than Path, isn't it, in this matchup? So if I'm leaving in Fatal Push, or if I'm leaving in Path, I'd rather just have Fatal Pushes, since Fatal Push blows up Colonnade and doesn't give them a land. It is worse against Spell Queller or whatever. We'll just do this. And play game 2, kind of figure out what the opponent's doing. If they're on blue, white, red, we can change the sideboard, plans, and such. Eesh. This hand's almost worth it. But not quite. If we had a 2, then maybe, but Colorless Land Vial and a bunch of uncastables, especially because I just can't cast this Gideon. Vial is very good in this matchup, but ugh. Guess we keep this. Scratch that to the bottom. Hopefully find an Eldrazi Temple. Oh, they are on blue or red. Cool. So we can board in Forge Tenders for game 3. If we get there. Now the question is if they're on tempo or hard control. The Spiral Bluff, ooh, good draw. Spiral Bluff makes me think they're on control. Also, drawing 2 basics is kind of bad for their Path to Exiles for me. I don't get nearly as much value, but not a lot I could do about that. So yeah, the Spiral Bullets make me think they're on control, or not control, they're on the tempo decks, since the land drops for turn 1 through 3 seem more relevant, but this has to just be Logic Knot or something. I'm not, or even if it's just Bolt, I don't think I'm playing this Arbiter. I think I just play land pass, leave up. So next turn, I can just file in the Arbiter and it's fine. It's not worth letting them catch their removal spells or their counter spells if they're not doing anything with their turn there. Oh man, they fetched. Disappointing. Shock. Is it Geist? Snap Serum Visions, okay. That's fine. If we draw a land, I can Strangler this Snap. I don't know if it's worth it, but I could. I think I'd rather play Displacer. Take up File, and then I can Strangle something. Maybe something more relevant. Top, bottom on the Snap. Ew. That's not great. Really want it to hit a third land. Especially, like, Eldrazi's Temple would be so good here. Gives us double colorless to play these Thought Knots. Allows us to activate Displacer and stuff. Attack for 2. Sure. What are they gonna do? I wonder if they're gonna, like, Cryptic Bounce this File. Seems not horribly unreasonable here. Spreading Seas my planes. Kind of a bummer. I think they're on the control. Yeah, they're on the control list if they're playing Spreading Seas in their deck. So they probably have Helix up or Bolt or Path or whatever, but we're taking this File up to 3, so might as well put an Arbiter now. We're not getting any value. We can Flicker Wisp to get my planes back. We could also use it to save the Arbiter, which is probably going to come up right now as I attack. No. Okay. Well, we'll leave up a lot of options. We can violent any one of these creatures. I almost want to take this Vow up to 4 to start Thought-Knotting them and have Shalai up. I need to at least put in a creature. I can't just afford to leave up Flicker Wisp forever since I'm just so far behind on mana. I'm just gonna put in this Displacer. If they want to kill something, sure. I will pay 2 for my Leonin Arbiter. Now we have 3 mana. I can't cast Flicker Wisp, but we cast Strangler. Maybe I do take this up to 4 now. I get Shalai and Thought Knot Seers. I think we can afford to take this up to 4. Oh, and we get to cast Flicker Wisp next turn. So let's take a look at what the opponent's doing while they're tapped out of white here. Back now, see you later. Cutie Mark Mason. Have a good night. Or day. Don't know what your time zone is. So while they're tapped out of white, we want to Thought Knot them, in case they have a second path. They can't just reasonably bolt down this Arbiter. Or not this Arbiter, the Thought Knot Seer. Let's hit him with this Arbiter first. Could cast the Strangler. Let's see what's going on in their hand first. Settle the Wreckage, Logic 9. Alright, so I'm not casting Strangler, and I'm also going to happily take this Settle the Wreckage. They could have, like, super blown him out with the Shalai. Settle the Wreckage, Response Violence, Shalai. Maximum get him value. They'll be able to leave up Colonnade activation, which is a little awkward. Because I can't instant speed smash through it. Could just attack with a Thought Knot and trade with it. Could also just cast Flicker it. I can't cast anything as Logic Knot. Unless I Thought Knot them first. Let's just draw Ghost Quarter. Make life easy. That's not a Ghost Quarter. So what is the plan? What did they play? They played Island. So their hand is Flooded Strand, Logic Knot, Plains, Unknown. I could trade for the Colonnade and just play another Thought Knot. And it also gives me an opening to cast a spell, because they'll have to tap super low for the Colonnade. And they'll no longer they won't have white mana again, so I can just... Although I might Thought Knot them in their draw step there. Yeah, let's attack with the Thought Knots here. See what they do. Think about Crypticking me? Nope. Get him. Looks like Colonnade activation, sure. This also takes them off of... Oh no, it doesn't take them off double white. They have the Plains in hand. But that's a fine trade. Play Strangler or Thalia here? I think I play Thalia. Thalia attacks through a Snapcaster. Well, Strangler could just kill the Snapcaster, but doesn't seem super relevant. I could play Flicker Wisp. That doesn't do anything. Alright, yeah, I think I want to draw step. Thought Knot them. If they have like Snap Path, that's how it goes worst for me. But I'm still fine if they have that. I want to be able to take away a big Planeswalker or something splashy. If they just had actual path, sure. Oh, wait, now, hang on. We're not going to pay for that Leonin Arbiter. Because we have no more basics to get. Exile like a Teferi or something? Ooh, they do have a Spell Queller. Neat. There's a lot of scary cards. I guess just the Snapcaster Mage. We'll have Shalai to counter this Helix. So, Snapcaster Mage is the most versatile. So, the plan is... what? If I attack with the Thalia, and they flash in the Spell Queller, They eat the Thalia, and then I can strangle the Spell Queller. Do I care? I think I can just kind of sit back, right? It's really awkward my Violet is on 4, with the opponent having a Spell Queller and a Logic Knot in hand. I think I can just sit back. Hopefully get them to, like, cast this Helix on in step. Yeah. So now we have Shalai that lets us attack through this Spell Queller. Also why we took the Snapcaster Mage. They can't snap path the Shalai. Their red removal is really bad against it, and they've already used 2 paths and 2 snaps now. They played Flooded Strand. F6, I'm not doing anything here. At what point can I fight through all these counters? Not yet, but soon I'll be able to. So if I cast Tide Hollow, it gets Spell Queller. If I cast Flicker Wisp, it gets Logic Knotted. So it still doesn't work. But at some point. Yeah, we'll just attack with Shalai. Although I could attack with Thalia too. They flash on the Spell Queller, block the Thalia, then I play Tide Hollow. If they Logic Knot it, that's fine. I let it resolve, and then I strangle the... That doesn't seem like it gets me anywhere. Let's just check with Shalai. I think they might eventually flash in Spell Queller for tempo. Cryptic, bounce, draw? Bounce the Vial seems kind of bad. Get to put it back now, unless they want to Logic Knot it. I can finally reset this Vial, since it being on 4 was super awkward for me. But I'd make their Queller and their Logic Knot live now. Snap Path. Spreading Seas my colorless source. Sure. And F6, I'm not doing anything. So they're digging for either a Wrath or another Snap or Path to Exile. So that's the only things that let them beat this Shalai. So they can actually only counter one thing here. Because if I play this Vial and they Spell Queller, we just get them. Because then I can strangle it. So let's just play the Vial, see what happens. If they don't counter it, we just don't cast any spells. Okay. Because then now we can just take up the Vial again and start putting in our 2s and 3s. Hit him with the Shalai, put him to 7. They have Snap. Or then they need actual Path to Exile here? Yeah. Third path is kind of a bummer. Lets me cast a spell. Do I need to cast a spell, though? Sure, this resolves. Don't use Path's ability. Because they can't Logic Knot me, because they can't use this fetch. I could Strangle this Snapcaster, but I think I'm saving Strangler to beat a Spell Queller. Could actually just... I think Tide Hollow might be the best here. None of that lets me actually attack through... No, I just take the Spell Queller, duh. Let's play Tide Hollow. Please fetch in response to try and counter this. God, that would be so good. Ceremonious rejection. Logic, not spell queller. Alright, well. Now we have this vial to beat all of their bad counter spells. 2-mana Serum Visions, sure. We don't want to commit more to the board because the opponent could have a Wrath. Not this turn, though. Because they would need 5 mana for it. And they can't use this Flooded Strand. But they're probably digging for Wrath of God, Supreme Verdict, whatever. One top, one bottom, huh? Tick up the vial. That's a good one. I can actually only attack with Thalia, right? I suppose I could attack with Arbiter. I'm not hugely upset if they want to trade Snapcaster with Arbiter. Can't attack with Tide Hollow, it gives them back the Spell Queller. Yeah, I'm okay attacking with these two. If they block here, it makes me less bad off to a Wrath. If they don't block at all, yeah. That's what I figured would happen. It means my Tide Hollow can start attacking in. Fetched a 7. We almost have lethal on board now. They have 2 relevant cards in hand, and that's... or 2 possibly relevant cards. They have a dead Logic Knot and a dead Ceremonious Rejection. So now they can Wrath me if they find it. But that's fine. Then I just cast Mirror Crusader or whatever. Cast Crusader plus Flicker Wisp or some nonsense. 2 cards on top is kind of scary. Guess we animate Shambling then. If they have Cryptic tap my team, it's a little annoying, but I'd rather get in for maximum damage in case of a removal spell. So worst case here is like Bolt, Tide Hollow, Flash in, Spell Queller, block Thalia, take 2, and even then we just strangle the Spell Queller after combat. Oh. Is that worst case? I don't think so. What do they want to block? The Tide Hollow, probably? The Thalia. Interesting. Interesting choice. So they go to 3 here. And we're about to get to Vial on 3 and replay and like play out the rest of my hand. We just attack for lethal with Vial up, Strangler that, using their own Spell Queller, attack with... they're attacking. Are they gonna, like, Wrath of God me? What is this attack? I guess they could have drawn, what's the card? Cryptic Command. They're gonna tap down my team. If that's the case, though, I just don't animate the Shambling event, right? So stop at... Ooh, they're clicking me in the draw step, huh? That's not gonna go well for you, opponent. I just eat the click and then lethal them? So this resolves. Target me. On the stack, activate Vial. Strangler. Strangle the click. Ooh, they have another removal spell? A path. Why'd they let this Strangler resolve? Oh no, duh, because I fouled it in. Okay, so they're not dead, they're at 1. No, they're not at 1, because they get their Queller back. Interesting. So they get that back. I strangle this click. They get to look at my hand. Their hand is now Spell Queller, Logic Not Ceremonious Rejection. This is an odd end game here. They take the Wisp, sure. We draw a land, that is a bummer. We just get to gain 2 life if we attack, right? We know exactly what their hand is, and it's not going to do anything blocking, so... Oh wait, no, I shouldn't have 6. F5, F5. This lets me cast Crusader, right? I don't know if I want... I probably do want to. Yeah, I just need to, like, play more things. Yeah, this makes it so that I can attack them to 1 next turn, because they have to block Strangler and Mirror Crusader, so they trade off both their Quellers here. Ooh, interesting. Now, hypothetically, they could, like, Geist block here, Queller block here, Strangler block. Leave file on 3, draw a 2-drop. So we block, Shambling Vent, and then it's a Shambling Vent versus a Spell Queller with them at 3. I think I want to do that before they draw more removal spells. Also, this Geist does actually get a little scary if they, like, found an answer for Mirror Crusader. Geist does start punching me, so... This clears the board, so it ends up with Spell Queller, and Shambling Vent is the only creatures in play. Block, block, block. Yep, these blocks make the most sense. Everything trades or bounces. We cannot cast a spell because they still have Logic Not in their hand from, like, turn 5 million. They can't attack, though. Okay, I guess they drew a removal spell, because they can, in fact, attack. Let's draw Flicker Wisp. That is not a Flicker Wisp. Do I even animate this Shambling Vent? This attack is so indicative of them having a removal spell in their hand. So I'd rather just try to wait it out. To find, like, Displacer or Flicker Wisp. Yeah, we'll just wait. We're at a pretty comfy life total, so I'm not opposed to just sitting on my hands for a little bit. mana for this Displacer. We still have 4 in the deck, right? Or did one get pathed? Yeah, one got pathed a while ago. We have 3 in the deck. Spreading Seas Shambling, man, that's a bummer. Attack. Cast this into Rejection. Nah, it's not worth it. I can't, like, bait the Rejection out either, because they still have this Logic Knot. So I'm never punching through with their counter spells. We should have another 6 turns to draw something relevant. I guess now we play. They can. They just let it resolve. Sure, hold on to the other one. Now we get to Arbiter as a 2-drop in like 2 turns, which is probably a little bit too late. Unless we also find Shalai or something. Or Eldrazi Displacer. Again, would be a very good draw. Could be facing down Bolt as their removal spell, in which case we have slightly less turns to live as well. Ooh, that is a very good one to have. Stops the chip damage. Let's Strangler this Spell Queller. Put their Serum Visions back. Never gonna put the Settle the Wreckage back if I can help it. Play around Snap Settle. You can have that Serum Visions back, opponent. They have 6 cards in hand, 2 of which don't matter. We are turning the corner, hopefully. I mean, the opponent does have infinite more cards in hand than I do, so maybe we're not. I don't know, maybe turning the corner isn't the right word. Or the pendulum swinging back towards us a little bit. They just pat this or whatever. Settle the Wreckage it. Double settles, interesting. We do get to shuffle that Flicker Wisp on the bottom of our deck back in after that. That's not a good sign. Opponent is just throwing a bolt at my face. That is very much a bad sign, I would say. We only have 3 4-drops left in the deck? Yeah. They just have Click plus Bolt or something to finish me. I don't know why they keep pausing my draw step or whatever. Another Spell Queller would be kind of annoying. We do get to go to game 3 after this, in which case we get to board in our actual removal spells now that we know they're on Jeskai tempo. Could, like, snap Helix me and then trade here. Cryptic Bounce Draw. That's not exactly the best play I've ever seen. considering I just have this vial on 2. Are they just gonna snap ult me now? Spell Queller, alright, well, I'm not dead. We have 2 Ghost Quarters for the Colonnade. Again, if we just draw Flicker Wisp, we have Lethal in play right now. They only have 1 card in their hand. Flicker Wisp is lethal. Unless that 1 card is a removal spell or something. Which it very well might be. Not great. We are now dead to Bolt. Please don't kill me, opponent. Please do not kill me. Would sincerely appreciate not dying. Moto, my Leonin Arbiter's under there. Let's draw something good, please. Nope, nothing good. Alright. They have 2 cards in hand. Oh man, they have Cryptic Command? Nope. Well, they can just bounce it, but... Go for lethal. Can't not go for lethal. Yeah, they have Cryptic here. Rats. That's kind of annoying. Especially because opponent just fired off that bolt for no reason, like 100 turns ago. That seemed like a really bad play by the opponent, but... I don't know what they were trying to play around. Pretend we have something. And concede. Well, if game 2 went that well for me, I think we're fine game 3. Especially because now we get to bring in these Path to Exiles again, which are a lot more relevant against the opponent's Spell Quellers and Vendilion Clicks and stuff. We also can bring in Forge Tenders if we want, but I'm not even 100% sure that's right. We can cut these Crusaders. Crusader is pretty bad against both Bolt and Spell Queller. What do I wanna cut here? I like almost everything in my deck now. Shalai is really good against double Settle the Wreckage deck. Since they're just got tempo, it's much less likely they have stuff like Supreme Verdict or Wrath of God, because they play more creatures, so Settle the Wreckage makes sense as kind of a one-sided board wipe, so having a Shalai in play makes it so that we're very insulated to getting Wrathed. What do I want to cut? Maybe I don't, like, play all these paths. Maybe I just play some of them? I could just see that, actually. Most of my cards just seem better than Path to Exile. We have 3 Wasteland Stranglers to deal with Spell Queller, too, and we're on the play. We have Vials. Alright, we'll just do it like that. Would like to play first. This hand is like kind of a disaster. We don't play anything till turn 3, and the opponent left in like all their counter spells. They have Ceremonious Rejection and their Logic Knots and stuff. So it's actually very awkward if we don't have Vial hands. I think I can find a better hand with like a 2 in it at least. Or Aether Vial. I'm down with this hand. Bottom that. We want to play around Spreading Seas, so play the worst lands. Continue playing around Spreading Seas by playing this Ghost Quarter. I'm happy ghost guarding myself to, like, cancel an opponent's cantrip. I guess I wouldn't say I'm happy about it. I wouldn't be opposed to it if they just try spreading seize my caves here. I think I'm gonna do it. Nope, they're just passing with... Oh, they just want to fetch out away from Leonin Arbiter. Makes sense. Smart opponent. And they could have Logic Knot or something, but... Could cast Flicker Wisp, but again, don't need to cast Flicker Wisp. Let's play the Plains, pass the turn, and Violent Thalia on their upkeep. Because I don't want a Violent Thalia now. It just, if they have a Bolt, then they don't get taxed, really. Ooh, they have a spell to cast. This cannot be right? Opponent is just throwing a Lightning Helix at my face. I'll just Violent Thalia now, I guess. But there's no way that that's the correct line against the matchup where your removal spells are so important. And if I had Leonin Arbiter, I could just Violent it and Ghost Quartered them. Could have just, like, punished them super severely. I shouldn't have 6, though. In case they do have Spreading Sieves. I'm a little angry about how poorly the opponent's playing with some of these decisions. I don't think Helix my face is the correct line on, like, turn 3. Cast what? Geist of Saint Traft? Where? Okay. Eh, that's pretty good. I don't want to play the Flicker Wisp there because A, Electrolyze could be really disastrous for me, although we didn't see a game 2. But B, because I don't think it's going to come down to me aggroing down my opponent with, like, Flicker Wisp with Thalia. It's going to come down to me getting value off this Vial. Opponent has Spell Queller mana up, so I don't think I'm attacking anymore. Are they gonna... Ooh, I guess that doesn't matter. Sure. Let's grab another Plains so I don't damage myself. It's gonna come down to me time. Ooh, ho 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 ho! It's gonna come down to me bodying my opponent with this Gideon Allies Zendikar now. But yes, the opponent's clock was definitely a consideration on my mind at this point, at this stage in the game. So opponent could have Cryptic Command to, like, bounce the Gideon end of turn or something, but what's the worst that could happen if I attack? I'm not attacking with Gideon, obviously. I think I'm just going to zero make another guy. Beatdowns. They just don't have anything. Alright, we're just... If they have Spell Queller into, like, Bolt, they kill the Gideon, but then they're at 9, and I have Vial on 3 for this Flicker Wisp. Things are just going very far south very quickly. They could also Bolt on Tap Bolt or something. That's even worse for them. I think Cryptic Bounce the... Yeah, Cryptic Bounce the Gideon is what I figured was going to happen. Casting Serum Visions? I don't think they're inclined to cast a lot of stuff. Okay, well, that basically does nothing. I could also resolve this Gideon if I really want to. by taking up, so stop in my own draw step. We'll just draw and see what I want to do here. So I'm in my draw step. I could Violent Flicker Wisp, flicker out this Spire Bluff Canal, so I don't have Logic Knot up. Play Gideon, Emblem it, crunch for 6 or something. Because zeroing Gideon doesn't do anything, because then Gideon dies to the Angel. But I think I'm down for this play. I could make another Knight ally, actually. It blocks the Geist. They take 4, go to 9. Or otherwise they take 6, go to 7. But then if they have Settle the Wreckage, it could get a little awkward. But they could easily just attack and then have Settle the Wreckage anyway. I think we Emblem it, just deal them a ton of damage. So if they pass with a bunch of mana open, we need to try and play around Settle the Wreckage. Which we might be able to do something. Now they fetch down to 6, now just the 2 Knights are lethal. Cannot Ghost Quarter them off of red, because they have the single basic mountain in their deck. Imagine they have at least 1 basic plains. I know they have at least 1, I saw it, but I can't remember if they had, like, multiples. If they attack with Geist, I think I'll just block with Flicker Wisp. That's not bad. So this is why I didn't want to zero the Gideon here, because if this exact thing happened, then they'd be at 11, and I'd just have 3 2/2s instead of 2 3/3s. Another Flicker Wisp is excellent. It makes sure I don't die to, like, burn spells. I can flicker out this Angel or something. They're down to 3. We'll have 3 lethal attackers. We can flicker out the Angel if we need to. I feel pretty safe now. Okay, they have 1 million. They have 1 million white mana. Flicker out this Angel. The opponent dead. Ooh, are they gonna snap Helix to save their Geist? They're dead if I draw. I have a lot of spells to kill them here, then. I have Paths, Flicker Wisps. I guess I don't actually have that many since I don't have... Oh no, I do. Now I have an activator for Stranglers. Man, am I gonna lose this game? I might. If we draw a dud here. have a Path Exile. Can't beat Path plus Bolt, but... Oh God. Down to the wire. Ugh, those... The Jeskai control matchup. Or I guess Jeskai tempo in that case, but... Those matchups take forever. Ugh. Really ground the opponent into the dust. There were like 5 minutes total left on the clock. I had 4, my opponent had like 1. Jeez. That took so long. We could have also died if I hadn't hit Path, Strangler, or Flicker Wisp. I think I'd die if they have a Bolt in hand. And they were playing like they had bolts to spare. They were getting very aggressive. That match was just exhausting. I just wanna take a break after that match. Alright, we win the die roll. Yeah, sounds good enough. We have Vile into one of these and Vile in the other. Keep this pretty easily. We're against all in red. In which case, at least this Vile's good. And this basic Plains is good. It also means we're casting Tide Hollow on turn 2. So we hopefully don't get Blood Moon as long as it's not a turn 1 Blood Moon. They go land, ritual, Blood Moon me. Could be the Eldrazi deck, actually. Like the Serum Powder Eldrazi or something. But then they wouldn't. They're just gonna chalice me? Yeah, that's totally fine, opponent. You play that chalice. Let's find out what's going on under the hood. Because I don't think this Arbiter is going to be good against my opponent. Okay, so they're on the, that's much better for me, because my opponent doesn't have Blood Moons in their deck. How does this card work? You can cast this from exile, right? Alright, well, I probably shouldn't take it with Tide Hollow, then. Play Blink Moth, play Eternal Scourge. So if I target it, it explodes? Yeah, so I can just Flicker Wisp it next turn. I don't know, all my opponent's weird Eldrazi cards work. As long as I don't get Thought Knotted here, I'm pretty okay. Okay, they're just hitting me for 1. Or, I guess maybe 4. Yeah, sure. Plays another Zephyr and Void. Scratch to the bottom. Might as well put in a 2-2. Definitely boarding these out post-board, but for now. If I fire up Shambling Bent, I'd have to shock. A, I'd have to shock to fire up the Shambling Bent, and B, my opponent could actually just Ghost Quarter me for free, which I guess I don't care about that much, but I think I'd rather just hit my land drops. This matchup is awful. For him, maybe? I mean, I don't know if it's awful. It could be awful for me. I've never played against the Eldrazi Stompy deck. Doesn't seem like it's going horrible. But I guess my opponent does it, like, 2 cards in hand. And they probably can't beat this Flicker Wisp very easily. And they trade with Blink Moth, maybe. Yep. Yep. When you target it, it exiles itself? It doesn't just explode. Alright. Well, I guess I'm not doing that on the Eternal Scourge, then. Because then they just cast it. And then it has Vigilance, essentially, to block me. Sure. Guess it connects. We'll flicker the Chalice. If we draw Path. Could be relevant. Ooh, we might actually flicker that on end step. Just so we can attack through it. Because otherwise it blocks my Tide Hollow, and I think we're in a bit of a race here. Imagine this matchup gets a lot less awful for my opponent when I flood horribly. We're going to animate the Shambling Vent here. I guess maybe I should have done it last turn because I knew this Ghost Quarter was coming. And I can't. I need them to use it so I can use my other Shambling Vents. Essentially, I need them to pop this Ghost Quarter, which they won't do until I animate a Shambling Vent. Beat them for 7, they go to 9, and we have lethal next turn if they tap out everything. Don't search, because I can't search. Yeah. So if they attack with everything, then we have lethal here. 2, 4, 7, 9. We just play land, kill them, so they have to leave something back. Probably the Blink Moth. Yeah. So now we need to draw Ghost Quarter to kill them. Simian Spirit Guide? Okay, never mind. We just don't have lethal. So I'm attacking with these two, definitely. And I guess this? Yeah. Fire up that, block the Flicker Wisp, block the Leonin Arbiter. Go to 7. I go to 9. Oh, right, there's a Chalice in play. Whatever. That card wasn't doing anything, so not a big deal. They attack me for 5? 5 plus 6 is actually 11. Ooh, this is bad. Oh, never mind. Now we just need to draw. Like, Displacer is great. Not another land. Now we just have to sit and wait. We can no longer attack through with 3/3. I guess the opponent definitely doesn't have this Ghost Quarter in hand anymore. We need to dodge them having their Haymakers, whatever they might be. I don't know how far they go up. Probably not really past Reality Smasher. Basically only attack with Blink Moth here. Probably. Yes. Come on. Spirit Guide again. Let's draw a Displacer. Ugh, Jesus. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I don't have enough mana to animate both anyway. Next turn I will, if I get there. This has not been a good. I think we've drawn one relevant spell, right? We kept Arbiter, Tide Hollow, Aether Vial. Do we keep Flicker Wisp too? I don't think so, but we are just flooding horribly. We still might win. We have a lot of good draws in the deck. That is not one of the good ones, per se. Does let me stonewall all their ground creatures some more, though. What on earth are they casting? Sure. 2-0. No, we're not 2-0. We're 2-1. The MTG bot sometimes just misses matches that I play for no reason. I don't really understand how MTG bot works. We lost round 1 against humans. Tag me for 1, okay. Top decking Spirit Guides, turn cards for 2 lands. Yeah, this is the pinnacle of Magic the Gathering. Land drops versus hardcast Spirit Guides and Serum Powders. Come on, Displacer. Alright, that is not good, but it's a card. We still have like 4 more turns to live. We have so many answers for this stupid Blinkmoth Nexus in our deck. I wonder what their last card is. Just a land, I guess? A Dismember? I guess that makes sense. But Dismember... No, Dismember the Thalia here. Sure, I guess. Go to 5. Guess we have more than 4 turns, because I can actually start throwing Shambling Vents just into this Eternal Scourge and dying to gain 2 life. As soon as we draw... I don't know. Eldrazi Displacer, Wasteland Strangler would be decent. Oh god, is this a Thanaseer? Is this a Reality Smasher? Alright, never mind. Opponent found the card before we did. And now we are dead. Opponent can probably just alpha me here. Opponent's not even alphaing me. Can I live? I'm at effectively 3, so if I put... Yeah, I think I can live. So this effectively deals 0 damage, and that chump blocks that. Probably would have attacked like at least one of these other guys. Since, like the Eternal Scourge threatens lethal too, with the addition of the Blinkmoth Nexus. If we draw Displacer... Actually, we only have 1 colorless source, so Displacer is kind of sucky. Yeah, I don't think we have any answers. There's a Path Exile, which is almost lethal. We could Path the Scourge, animate Shambling Vent, attack with both. But I guess it's only 4 damage too, so they go to 1 even if they didn't have the Spirit Guide. So yeah, we're just dead. That was not the best showing of Magic the Gathering I've ever seen in my life. Alright, so sideboard time. I don't actually know what's all in the opponent's deck. I just know it's like Eldrazi Stompy probably curves out at Smasher, probably doesn't play anything bigger. Just a bunch of weird, dirtily cards. Is Fatal Push good enough? Probably not. I don't think I can reliably revolt the Fatal Pushes. Maybe that's wrong. I think I just cut all these Arbiters because they're the worst. And Athalia. And then hope to draw better next game. That is Endbringer. Yeah, I mean maybe. I don't. Like I said, I'm not familiar at all with the Eldrazi Stompy deck lists. So maybe it curves out at Smasher, maybe it curves out at Endbringer. Sometimes I play in brown. I mean, it doesn't really change how I board, it just makes Fatal Push a little bit worse, I guess. Yeah, I think I just... You missed the E&T. You did. We're on, like, match 4. You missed three matches of Eldrazi taxes, including a super butt-clenching game against Jeskai Tempo last round. Pontiff seems like it sucks. Most of their they had, like, Blink Moths, but that's only good if I have Vial. And they have Mimics. Yeah, I think we just submit this. Let's not flood out as horribly. Alright, I'll keep this. What are the chat rules? We don't really have any chat rules. I guess chat rules like, don't be a dick. I don't even know how to set up that thing, though. Some people have it on Twitch where you click in the chat box and immediately says, like, here are the rules. Oh man, they're gonna revoke my Vial. That seems like a poor use of a Simian Spirit Guide. Let's just cast our spells naturally, because we also have land drops. Alright, sure. Not being able to take Eternal Scourge is just really awkward for Tide Hollow Scholar. They draw something to cast? Oh no, they're hitting me for 1. Especially my... Yeah, I'd just stray away from political or otherwise irrelevant discussions in my chat. Talk about Magic, talk about just, you know, nice things. People just want to come hang out, be chill. Don't talk about very charged topics. And we good. So I could Flicker Wisp. Nothing. Do I care about Flicker Wisping anything? Could Flicker Wisp Revoker to make sure they don't block. I don't think they're planning on blocking. But... gives them a chance to swap what they're naming, but I don't think... yeah, we're just gonna Flicker Wisp the Revoker and hit him. Talk about our Lord. You can talk about our Lord and Savior, Athalia, Guardian of Thraben. Zalfir and Void, sure. Wonder how many basics the opponent has in their deck. I imagine there's some number of basic wastes to play around, stuff like Path. One's probably not going to attack at all. Yep. Heretic gets no love. Heretic's cool too, but nothing can beat the OG. It's a good one to have. I'm definitely down for getting Displacer plus Shalai for like the ultimate defense here. Wait. They didn't cast a spell. I guess they want to be able to block Flicker Wisp is their plan. That's why they didn't cast a spell, but I could be trying to play around something here. Eh. Run out Displacer. I'll play the second Vial. I could actually Flicker, or like displace my Flicker Wisp, Flicker the way that Revoker or something. Yeah, we'll attack. Like this. I'm okay trading with either of their creatures right now. I'd like my Vial turned on so I can take this Vial up to 4. Otherwise it's just 2 free damage. they were leaving up with Dismember, sure. But now the Dismember's taken care of, so we can play this Shalai in peace. There's the other Ghost Quarter. If they play one of their creatures, then I get to hit them with this Flicker Wisp. Yep. Eternal Scourge. Another Scholar. Do I care about... I don't think I care about the last card in their hand, this other Matter Reshaper. I think I just want to get my aerial beatdowns on. Can we talk about how shitty the new Reddit layout is? Yeah, that's fine. You can talk about that. Apparently a lot of people don't like the new Reddit layout. You can't talk about 4chan. I mean, you can talk about 4chan, but just don't talk about, you know, the 4chan-y stuff. You know what I mean. Serum Powder is good. Means I can only attack with Shalai unless I want to trade with this Blink Moth. Let's take a look. I know they have at least this Matter Reshaper. Just play a bunch of stuff to the board. Hit him with the Shalai. Alright, feeling pretty good about where we are in this game. Not very helpful right now, but good to have in the back pocket, just in case. Alright, unless they find something, they are dead next turn. The Scry's not going to help you, because you are dead on board. Opponent has decided that they are dead. Do I want these fatal pushes? Opponent has just not a whole lot, it looks like. The Revoker can be kind of annoying. So the fatal push isn't the worst because I hit Mimics and Revokers, and if you can trigger the Revolt, which you can with stuff like Flicker Wisp, or having one of my guys die, or using a Ghost Quarter, that sort of thing, you can Fatal Push some stuff up to Thought-Knot Seers, so maybe Fatal Push is worth it. I don't know what I would cut. Most of my cards are... I guess I could just cut more Thalias, because Thalia's pretty embarrassingly bad here. I'd be okay with something like that. This matchup also gets really board stally. I almost want this Gideon. Fatal Push might be a little bit better on the draw, so we don't get beat down by like a super gas hand with or Reshaper into Mimic. There we go, Mimic into Thought-Knot. Opponent 6 seems weird. Playing the Semi-Spirit guy jumps on my Mad Reshaper early. Yeah, it's the Eldrazi like Stompy modern deck. They like Serum Powder aggressively try to find Eldrazi temples and power out a bunch of dirtily Eldrazi. Opponent keeps. I will keep. We have good cards. Slow cards, but good cards. I've never played against it. I've just heard about it. Yeah, see, like, this Mimic isn't super scary. Because what are they going to do next turn? Like, Eldrazi Temple? No, they would have played the Eldrazi Temple if they had it. So they don't have Eldrazi Temple, so they just wanted to play a Mimic on turn 1. which seems just really bad. I'm just gonna leave a path just in case. Next turn I can just play Shambling Vent anyway. Ratchet Bomb. Okay. Obviously they Simian Spirit Guided out this Eldrazi Mimic so that they could set up this Ratchet Bomb on turn 2 and have this 2-1 in play. Question mark, something, so ooh. Yeah, let's just play this Displacer. Ha, I have Eldrazi Temple and you don't, opponent. Take that. Who's the better Eldrazi deck? Gonna dismember my Displacer. Gonna fire a Blink Buff. Oh no, yeah. Dismember Displacer, sure. Oh man, they pitched Spirit Guide. I forgot about that. I should have just eaten this Eldrazi Mimic. I mean, I guess I'm just doing that this turn, but yeah, we're just gonna. I totally thought there was no food for the Strangler, but they had totally pitched that Spirit Guide. I should have done this last turn. Opponent will take this up to 2, and then we will Flicker Wisp it back down to 0. So they never get to 3. Blow my stuff. Pitch 2 Spirit Guides to Thought Not Me? Oh, please. Wait, did they decide not to? I don't know what they're doing. We have 2 paths, so like Thought Not's fine. Path it, Flicker Wisp, Ratchet Bomb. Pitch 1 Spirit. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so they now have 1 card in hand. I think they just lose now. I guess I should have passed first to draw a card. Did they have a basic wastes? Yeah, I figured they had at least 1. They can tick the Ratchet Bomb up to 1. But now they're just horrendously far behind. Crusader. Next level. Alright, so I guess I can just attack with both? Think I just trade for whatever? Actually, no, we're just gonna attack with Strangler here. Because I'm gonna Flicker Wisp my own Flicker Wisp to exile the Ratchet Bomb. So it takes them like another 3 turns. So if they want to trade a Blink Moth for a Strangler, that's fine. So they can pump it. Yep. Could flicker out my own Flicker Wisp, right? That doesn't really do anything, though. Eh, why not? Doing it. This thing takes up to 2, so end step, the Flicker Wisp can just flicker out the Ratchet Bomb now. If they don't do anything. Alright, we'll never attack it with Shambling Vent, I guess. Yeah, get out of here, Ratchet Bomb. Ooh, we have a path now? Heck yeah. Gonna hit the opponent. Gonna path their Blink Moth. and then play Mirror Crusader, and then they're going to die. Two basic wastes, cool. Set up lethal. Yeah, well, they're not dead yet. This doesn't interact well at all, right? That just blows up everything, but it does make a 4-drop lethal flyer. So we will just attack. I guess attacking there was kind of bad. They just get to cycle this into something that might matter. A Thought-Knot Seer. They're at 1. Yeah, we'll play this. Can't Thought-Knot me if I have Hexproof opponent. Sick. We are 3-1 now. Eldrazi Stompy. What a weird deck. I don't think it's very good. I don't know. Watching that go down did not look very powerful at all. My opponent, turn 1, Simian Spirit Guided out a Eldrazi Mimic, and then turn 2 played a Ratchet Bomb, and then like 2 or 3 turns later, double Spirit Guided out their Thought-Knot Seer. It just felt really bad. Like, everything my opponent was doing was just unimpressive. Just felt like they should be playing Eldrazi-tron or something. They're playing a bunch of really bad aggro cards for no real reason. Alright. Let's win. Let's go 4-1. Keep the dream alive, team. I want to get a second trophy too, but you can't really get a second trophy when you lose the round 1, but what can you do? This hand's okay. It's going to be really awkward when my opponent's on burn, but we have Thalia into Arbiter Ghost Quarter. It's very hard to pass up those hands, especially on the play. We'll lead with Eldrazi Temple. Gives their opponent the least information on what we're on. And we're probably just going to play a White Source, but if we draw a Painless White Source, we can do that instead. Opponent also might do something stupid to try and kill this to prevent, like, turn 2 Thought-Knot. Nope. They're on Coco, Jund, something. Jund? Oh, Jund Death Shadow? Definitely fine with this play. That means they're light on lands. Or they just want to get, like, they have multiple traverses and they want to get sorcery in the yard right now. Is another option. But we're just going to Thalia into Arbiter Ghost Quarter now. Oh man, if we had Thought-Knot. Give him the business. Dang. What can the opponent even do here? Like, fetch, play Tarmogoyf? Then we have Arbiter, Ghost Core them, and then untap and path it. Although we know that they have a third land, because they have the Forest hand still. So they're definitely a Death Shadow deck with how aggressively they're shocking themselves. Shalai. Interesting. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna Arbiter Ghost Quarter. Next turn I can path this Tarmogoyf. And we can kill their red mana. We can path into hopefully play Shalai. A bunch of good stuff going on. They have another forest, but taking them off of red could be very relevant for them to cast a lot of their... Okay, never mind. They just have a lot of lands. Sure. They don't attack. I can't path this without them being able to pay. They probably have a basic swamp in their deck too, so maybe the tax plan's just kind of out the window. Could also just not attack and just leave up this path, which might be reasonable considering they're a Death Shadow deck. I'm kind of content sitting on my heels. If they tap out for like a removal spell on something, then we path. We're getting towards this Shalai, which will be really good. Fatal Push. I mean, I guess I can wait for this to resolve. We also have second Thalia, which will be good because they pushed the Thalia instead. 1/1 Death Shadow. Yep, 1/1 Death Shadow. And a Grim Flare. They don't have Delirium yet. Do I just play Shalai now? Get down Shalai while I can. Turns off their Thought Seizes and stuff. Sneeze or dab. Does that look like a dab? It's mostly just... It's definitely a sneeze. Yeah, we'll play Shalai here. It's very hard for us for them to kill it without Revolted Fatal Push. Attacking with Arbiter seems bad, considering it makes their Death Shadow huge. Or bigger, I guess. Dismember. That is a bummer. It also gives them a Colossal Death Shadow. Let's hope they don't have... That attack seems weird. I'm definitely gonna block. This isn't a 4/4. Oh, they have Street Wraith? Oh, if they have like push, they just don't care because this thing has trample. That's a bummer for sure. That Dismember was really bad for me. You're gonna just take down Shalai without even blinking. 3-0. We're not 3. I already explained this to you, Caleb. And now they traverse for another Death Shadow, and we're super dead. Yeah, if I cast both of these, we go to 9, and actually they just have lethal in play. Guess we could draw Eldrazi Displacer, stay alive. Well, probably not even that. Yeah, I think Caleb's just trolling me. Just chill block this. They have Battle Rage or something, I die. Yep. I just don't think we're winning this one. Milthausi's Mill Inquisition. I wish I could go 3-0 too. Oh, jeez, alright. Opponent just has actual... Yeah, alright. Opponent has a lot of good cards here. Sideboard time. We get a lot of good cards for this matchup, which is good. Crusaders. Rest in pieces. Probably this Gideon. Cut all these Stranglers. Probably cut, what, some amount of Thought Knot Seers? Thought Knot Seer is a little too slow. Oh, so is Tidehull is too not permanent in terms of exiling things. All these other cards suck, so... just between these cards now. Is Shalai good in this matchup? Their main removal spell is Fatal Push, and they have a lot of fetches to trigger it, but I think it's okay. Probably just better than the first Thought Knots here. I'd rather just have Shalai's. Protects me from, and protects my other creatures from random bolts and what have you. Protects my face from bolt, protects my face from Thoughtseize, protects my creatures from removal spells. So I think something like that looks good. Yeah. I'd like to play first. We'll keep this. We have push, and we have, like, Vial. Although, maybe I'm supposed to board out Vials. I forgot about that. I'm so used to never boarding out Vial, because, like, the card is so good in Legacy, but I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to cut Vials in this matchup, because I'm supposed to cut Vials against Thoughtseize decks in Modern. And maybe we'll win, so we can do that game too. Doesn't really matter what land I lead with. Next turn we're just Caves Thalia-ing, or white source that we draw, Thalia-ing. Even if they target themselves, so I want to know if they want to fetch. Okay, I guess they're not fetching then? No, they are fetching. Shouldn't they activate the second bauble after they fetch then or something? I don't know. Bauble's a weird card. They can fetch Shock Thoughtseize me, take Fatal Push. What card is this? Hermit Druid. Opponent really likes traversing for basic lands. I guess that's reasonable to do against taxes, actually, since they just need to hit land drops. Sure, draw your cards. Play this Thalia. We have Fatal Push for their first creature. Unless we get Thoughtseize before that happens. Okay, so they have 3 lands at least. Fetch Shock Goyf? Something like that. Be okay with that. Play Shambling Event, push the Goyf attack. Red. Okay, that's even better for me. Because we just have second Thalia. Opponent still has like 5 cards, 6 cards in their hand. Which is not good for me. Alright, I guess I'm Fatal Pushing that. Because that card is very bad for me right now. I feel like that being the only thing my opponent did this turn, that they're sitting on a bunch of Death Shadows or whatever, that's fine. Let's draw something good. Displacer, Flicker Wisp. That's okay. Makes me more inclined to attack with the Shambling Vent now, since I have an answer for something. Hope they just play 2 Death Shadows or something. Oh man, that's a real bummer. The old turn 4 Thoughtseize. Now if they have Death Shadow, it's very bad for me. I have 5 ways to kill it. Plus 4 Displacers, I suppose. And 2 Mirran Crusaders. Alright, yeah, we're okay. Only a Grimflayer. Although that might actually be better than Death Shadow right now, since that digs them into more relevant stuff if we can't answer it. We're gonna draw Shalai and feel really silly for not having Thought-Knot Seer in our deck. Why is this burning my clock? Am I lagging? Okay, now it's burning my opponent's clock. Ooh, that's a good draw. Am I lagging? Can you guys tell on your end? Because I don't know, my plays seem to be kind of delayed. Cannot animate and also push the Grimflayer, so. Opponent has a lot of lands. So hopefully if taking them off this Grimflayer they can't actually find stuff. But I do seem to be lagging quite a bit. But my clock keeps going, like, I don't know. Push F6. Hopefully they don't have Death Shadow. EE up 1. Sure. Alright. I will take that deal. Guess there's no reason not to play this. They have a fetch land, and they're already at 10, so they're already well into Death Shadow territory. So I might as well just keep hitting them. Yeah, they'll probably get something tapped. Unless the last card in their hand is in fact Death Shadow. In which case, I think they would have played it last turn, but... Liliana. Ooh, they get to minus. Get back Grimflayer. Or plus, I guess. Seems not great. That doesn't seem good here. Start punching the Liliana of the Last Hope, I guess. I need to get it off the table to make my X1s relevant. Now they blow it up? I don't know, that seemed like a weird... If I had something that could answer it, it would have gone really badly for them. But I guess they couldn't cast it. I guess, yeah, that's fair. Protecting it from hand disruption. Oh, Jesus. A 6/7 Tarmogoyf, huh? That is not good. That's not bad. We might be able to push through enough damage to kill them. They're at 7, though. So even next turn, if they leave a guy back. Yeah, it doesn't matter. In case they have Liliana of the Veil or something, I want 3 mana to be able to activate Shambling Vent at instant speed here. They punch me for 10. We might be able to race them. That is a bummer. The last card in hand is a removal spell. I'm going to be real sad. Just attack with the Flare makes more sense to me. They don't want to go to 2. Since they can't draw the spells they get off the Flare until next turn. Next turn, if they mill themselves into like removal spells, they should be fine. We need to draw Eldrazi Displacer. So I kept 1 card on top. Oh god, what is this? I'm scared, opponent. Eldrazi Displacer? Path. That's interesting. I can path this Goyf, hit them for 5, put them to 2, and it gets really dangerous for them. I think that's my best plan. They did keep 1 card on top, though, so if it's a creature or a removal spell, then they get to stay alive here. It's gonna be pretty clutch, though. Are they going to attack, is the question. Alright, so they attack, so they definitely have a removal spell as the last card in their hand. This has to dig them to another removal spell, which is pretty reasonable, because it hits 3 cards. Mill. 1 on top again. Let's just draw Eldrazi Displacer, please. They blow it up right now. Yep. Not good. Fatal Push. Yep. I guess I probably should sandbag this land to make them fear something off of this vial. That was a little dumb. I think we might just be buried at this point. Traverse, oh god. Kept Traverse on top, so... We're drawing live to, what? Fatal Push? No, we've already used both the Fatal Pushes, too. Because we can't draw Death Shadow, because then we can't use our Shambling Vent. If we... or not Death Shadow. If we can't draw Path here. Because if we path the Death Shadow, we can't attack with the Shambling Vent. We need to draw Eldrazi Displacer as our best draw. Well, they left something on top. If it's removal spell, I just die. So we're drawing live to Flicker Wisp. That's about it. Come on, deck. Dang, 3-2 again. Ugh. The Death Shadow games can be quite tight, though. And opponent with the unanswered Grim player is, like, very much more live to draw better than I am that game, obviously. Pretty rough goings there. Death Shadow. We got O2'd. What a... Can never seem to pull off the fifth round. No matter where I am in the league, I'll just always lose round 5. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the stream here. So, talk about the deck list again. Did anything perform under? I think Pontiff might be bad now. I guess Pontiff's still relevant to beat Empty the Warrens out of Storm or something, and the random X1 decks they play against. But Pontiff's a lot worse since people aren't really playing Lingering Souls anymore, which is one really good reason to play Pontiff. I guess it's so good against like Affinity too. I just didn't play against any Affinity that league, but kind of liked where the deck was. Shalai just feels really good in Modern. Like I just really like Shalai in a lot of the Modern decks, or a lot of the different Taxes shells. Shalai might just be a good card to have in the flex slots of this deck right now. I'm gonna play it through some more leagues in the future, but I do like testing. The issue is that it gives all your other stuff hexproof, but it's also just the biggest removal magnet on board. But some decks just can't kill it, like with bolts or unrevolted fatal pushes, abrupt decays, or whatever. So can be very relevant. Can also be relevant off of Vial. I think I countered a Lightning Helix against Jeskai Control because I had Vial on 4 with Shalai, and just the ability to counter spells. And obviously, it's just a haymaker against Burn or Lantern Control, or probably something else that needs you to target your face with stuff. But I don't know. Shalai seems pretty sweet. I'm digging it so far. Definitely down to test it more. I'm much higher on it in Modern than I am in Legacy. Don't quite see the appeal in Legacy. Anyway, that's going to wrap up the stream for today. We're going to go host someone in a second. So if you liked what you saw, if you liked the content, if you enjoy playing Death and Taxes, this is the place for that. Then you can hit the follow button. It costs you totally nothing, helps me out, helps other people find my content, and it helps you know when I'm going live in the future. Other ways to know when I'm going live, schedule should be posted down below. Also, you can follow me on Twitter. I usually try to post every time I'm going live, or if there's a reason I'm not going live, random things that happen in the real world. And if you really want to support the channel, you can subscribe or donate. If you subscribe, you get the sweet Thalia emote that all the time is showing off in the chat there, and that it is somewhere on the screen right around here in the sideboard. Usually I like to sit in the chat box while we're playing games, but sweet Thalia emote. And I think that's it for my spiel. We're gonna go host someone. Legacy Goblins again. Could host Legacy Goblins. I'm down for that. Goblins is like the weird, like, second cousin once removed from Death and Taxes in Legacy. And it doesn't look like there's anyone else doing a lot. Alright, yeah, we'll host. Where'd they go? Legacy Goblins. Alright. So that is going to be it for the stream today. I'll catch you guys later with my earlier Friday stream, which should be a little bit longer. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow. See ya.